So iOS 19 has just came out in a developer beta. Now, I'm going to give you a quick how-to video on exactly how to use it. Number one, the very big first thing to keep in mind, I would not recommend anyone to install this update just yet. Just know there are many more things to do before installing this update. I would not recommend installing it whatsoever. But if you do want to on a side device or some other device like that, you want to start off by going inside of the settings application. So hop inside of settings just like this. And what you're going to want to do here is you want to scroll down until you find the general option right here. Tap on the general. And when you're here, you can click on software update. Tap on software update. And then you'll be able to find the developer beta option at the top. You can tap on it. It'll bring you into a different page. And within that different page, you'll basically be able to go through and basically update to iOS 26. So make sure you have a developer account. Now, once you update, one of the biggest changes you're going to see is this new liquid glass UI. So all throughout, it looks very, very different. If you're inside of certain applications, you can also see it inside of the docs and stuff in the search bars. You will probably see the most effect within liquid glass by changing your icons. So if you want to use that new clear icon, which is a new one, you can hold down on an empty space or onto a application. You can click on Edit Home Screen. Click on Edit at the top. Keep doing that. You want to hold it down, click on Edit, click on Customize, and then at the bottom, you'll be able to go ahead and choose the clear option right here. This will now go ahead and clear out your icons, and it makes it look pretty unique. If you're a fan of it, then that's great. If you're not a fan of that, just know you can go through and change it by holding down on an empty spot again, clicking Edit, clicking Customize, and going back to the default view. So you still have that type of opportunity there. Now the control center also changed up a little bit. If you can see, this is what it looks like now. It will probably end up changing out in the future, but this is a cool thing if you're really into it. It's a new type of experience. So you can go through and still kind of see, some elements here and there. It might be a little bit harder to see, so kind of keep that in mind. Otherwise, the system basically acts the same as previous updates. It's pretty much the same thing as before. Now the phone call application got some really big updates here too. So if you tap on your phone call here, you'll be able to go through and basically change out a lot of stuff. Number one, the bottom bar is a lot more different now than it was before. You can go through and go into voicemail if you want to. You can go and type in the keypad. But there are some cool things like call screening and hold assist. If you hop out of your phone call application, if you go inside of your settings application again, if you scroll down until you find the apps portion at the bottom, and if you go through and find that phone call option, the phone call application, you will be able to go through and find something awesome here. So under phone, you can tap right into here. And then what you can do is you can scroll down until you find this new screen incoming calls option. This will allow you to screen incoming calls that are coming in, and that is a new feature within iOS 26. So that's a cool thing here. The camera application is also brand new, well, newer for the most part. So you can go through, you can go from one area to the other. It's a brand new looking application, which is actually really, really nice. But there's some really cool features built inside of the camera portion of settings. If we go back into settings right here, scroll back. If we go into the camera portion, which might be up here, it's probably under here. If you go into camera right here, so it's not here, it's actually up here. Inside of the camera option right here, if you tap on it, there's this new feature called lens cleaning hints. This will actually give you a little tiny hints if your lens needs to be cleaned. So that is in and of itself another really cool little tiny thing that Apple kind of threw in here as well by giving us these lens cleaning hints that we can kind of take advantage of right inside of this spot too, which is actually really cool. iMessage also got some really big updates here as well. So if we go inside of iMessage, you'll now be able to come into your standard chats that looks something like this. So this is your standard chat. As you can see, it looks a little tiny bit different. At the very top, you'll see that the tab bar is clear. That is part of Apple's new strategy of using their liquid glass experience. It's a cool thing, I guess it's nice, but some people may not be a big fan of it. But you can go through and kind of take advantage of that depending on which way you want to go as well. So that right there is another thing that they kind of threw in here. And you can go through and tap onto the top part like this, and you'll be able to see these other types of things. You'll now be able to go through and change the information, like get standard information about this chat. You can click on backgrounds and you can go through and change the background of your iMessage just from being in this type of panel as well, which is actually really, really cool. So if you want to change the background to like this or to another thing, you can change it that way. And if they're on the same version of software, it will also change on their side as well. Now, if you want to go back, you can also just swipe back up here, choose none, and it'll go back to similar. Under photos, you can see the photos that were listed inside of that chat. Under links, you'll be able to see links that were pasted, documents, locations. It's a much more easier way of kind of maneuvering around your iMessage application. And this is another really cool thing that Apple kind of threw in here as well. Now, hopping back out, one other thing Apple threw in here as well is polls. We now have the ability of sending polls within iMessage. So this is something that's actually really, really cool that we have the option of kind of doing here now. So what we can do is we can go through and we can click on the iMessage portion right here. And now what you can do is you can go ahead and click on the plus button, which is right here. And you can send polls by tapping on the polls option. So click on polls and it will give you a couple of options. Choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. So what you can do here is you can go through and you can type in what choices you want. You can type in the first choice here. You can go through to find the second choice that you want to here, so on and so forth. So it's really up to you whichever way you want to kind of design it and kind of figure it out. But you do have that type of capability here as well, which is another really awesome thing that you can do. And when you find the polls that you want to send, you can then go and click on send right there, and that will go ahead and send out the polls for you. So that is something that's actually really, really cool that you can take advantage of. There's also a new update for a new application. This new application is called Apple Games. So here's this new feature right here, is this new application. And within Apple Games, what this application does, it allows you to go ahead and basically have all your games into one area. You can play with other friends, and you can combine your gaming activity. So within here, it's going to allow you to kind of go through and kind of modify, and you're going to be able to use all your games that you have. And you can basically just have your games and your experiences all inside of one application, which, like I said before, is a really cool thing to basically have. So what you can do here is you can see this type of game, this type of experience. You can tap open a game if you want to by clicking on the application that you want to go ahead and open. You can then go through and kind of swipe around and play more games. You can see other games that you want to go and find. And you do have that type of capability here as well. So that right there is another really awesome thing that you can kind of take advantage of. And for me personally, if I'm going to go through and play some games, that right there is another really awesome thing that you can take advantage of. If you're using iOS 26, one of the biggest things I'd recommend kind of thinking about too is just going through and keeping your phone updated as often as you can. So if you're on a beta, right, what I would recommend doing is going through and finding the Feedback Assistant application. And this is what the feedback, application looks like. Open it up, and I'd recommend you to go through and let Apple know after logging in, let Apple know the issues you're having within iOS 26. This is one of the most important things to go and keep in mind, because that's going to let Apple know what the issues they are having are, and they're going to go through and kind of modify and change those particular, things for the most part. Same thing goes for updating your iOS version. I'd recommend going through, clicking on your settings application right over here, and going through, clicking on the general portion here, clicking on software update, and then go through and basically update your phone as often as you can. So whenever an update comes in, I would recommend updating it, and that would be another massive thing I'd recommend doing here as well. So in terms of that, that's pretty much how to use iOS 26. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Sutherland.